Hello YouTube, Southern Wolverine here with another 3 versus 3 Rome 2 multiplayer battle. Now I'm going to leave this pause while I go through the armies just because this battle was quite short. Although when we were playing it we were lagging quite a bit, so it took probably twice as long to play this battle than it actually happens in real time. So my army's general is this Indian armored elephant unit. I have 3 units of median cav. Normally for the Seleucids I like the Azat Knights previously, but they are now quite expensive. So I've been using the median cav instead, who are pretty decent for their cost. I've got these Scythe Chariots back here too, and I don't know, I felt like it was a good idea to hide them at the beginning of the battle. Which didn't really come to much since I pulled them out right away anyway. And my main force consists of Thurio spears on either flank, 3 units of swords, and 3 units, I believe, of thorax pikemen. And my skirmishers are 4 units of eastern slingers. My allies are Patrick, I believe Patrick is in the middle, and Comrade Drago's out on the flank. They are both playing as Rome, so got a bunch of Syrian archers. Got a line of Evocati cohort, who seem to be the consensus choice for the most skilled, cost-efficient Roman unit. So got a couple auxiliary infantry here for support, auxiliary cav, and a legatus, and some gladiators. Drago's got a similar arrangement. He's got some gladiator spearmen for cavalry protection, Balearic slingers on his front line, some eagle cohorts mixed in with his Evocati cohorts, and 3 units of auxiliary cav along with his legatus. Alright, so directly across from me is this Averni army. He's got some Levy Freemen out here for cavalry defense, 3 units of noble horse, and the skirmishing force in front is 3 Celtic slingers. He's got a bunch of Oathsworn here in his main line, 5 or 6 of them. And right next to him is the Iceni with the chariot general, and he's also got a bunch of swords on his front line, a whole bunch of these heroic nobles. And then 1 unit of spears at the other end. And their third opposing army is also Rome. And he also has a whole bunch of Evocati or some Evocati cohort, but his front line is all these Principes, which is let's say it's a different choice. You don't see that happen a lot. It does mean he has more numbers than our Roman armies, though. And he's again got auxiliary infantry for cav support, 5, 6, a bunch of Balearic slingers. He obviously wants to do some skirmishing with Rome. He's also got a unit of levies. Must have had points left over. Legatus, and he has Equites and Socii Equitae Extraordinari. Alright, so these 2 barbarian factions clearly want to rush us. You look at the tactical overview. This is me here. This is a little bit of a problem for me if they decide to rush, because one guy can engage the front, and then I will be vulnerable to being flanked by this Averni army over here. They do have very few skirmishers, so if I can, I would like to prolong this skirmisher battle. The other thing I have going for me is between the 2 of them, they only have 2 spear units and 3 cavalry. So if my 3 cavalry can engage his 3 cavalry, my elephants and my chariots can attempt to run wild over all these sword infantry. See, my elephants are running through here knocking down a bunch of my own men. And these guys will get back up, but that's going to disorder this formation quite a bit. I was trying to run these guys up and get them in position to hit one of these armies. So these chariots are coming out to fight me. Yeah, this looks so much better in real time than it did in like half speed when we were actually playing it. You feel like your troops are getting totally out of position or moving really slow, but really everybody's moving at that same slow speed. So I see these swords, they're starting their rush. I mean, he's got no reason to wait. He's just skirmishing. So I run right out with these armored elephants. And and we're just going to smack right into these guys. There's not a whole lot they're going to be able to do to stop me. So, they got some kills on that. You see it mount. They're just going to keep charging from unit to unit. I use their trample or whatever ability it is. So they're going to come into where these guys are already engaged with the Roman cavalry. And they're just going to go to town on these guys. Look at this, they got 200 plus kills already. The chariots have come in behind them, and they're basically just following up, hitting these same units. So they're quickly throwing this heroic noble force into total chaos. Which this force, the reason I ran in and did this strike earlier, which I didn't normally do. Actually, I'm going to go to slow motion because this is happening really fast. The reason I did this elephant chariot rush, which I don't normally do, I don't even usually take both of those units, was just because with all these swords, he gave me an opportunity. And these heroic nobles would have given these Roman heavy infantry on the front line quite the run for their money. So by running these two units in here, throwing this whole army into disarray, doing massive casualties as you see here, I've given the Roman army in the center, Patrick's force, a fighting chance. So see, these Evocati are losing to these heroic nobles. So they would have been losing across the whole front if I didn't move up and do something. And I had just the force to get it done, so there you go. That's what happens if you don't take any spears or anything like that to defend yourself. So we got a big cav fight going on here. So he tried to flank me, because like I said, he had the edge, having deployed out wider than I did. And now I'm just throwing melee troops over here to try to hold these guys at bay, as he's very intelligently avoiding my pike line. So I'm just getting these guys, trying to get them in to fight these Oathsworn. Because the pikes will have an advantage over him. The Oathsworn will definitely beat my thorax swordsmen. Maybe not quickly, but certainly over time. So this Iceni force is already crumbling. And over here, Drago has just charged into his Roman counterpart. And his Evocatis and Eagle cohort are just better than these Prankipes. And they're pretty much matched up one-on-one down the line. You see there's a whole bunch of units just mixing it up here. So these Prankipes just couldn't stand up to the post-Marian Reform units. And I think over here Drago also got his cavalry into these Equites without them getting a great charge off, which is why you see Drago's forces are actually winning this fight. If those Equites got a good charge on him, that would have been bad news. So he's using his missiles now just to try to take out these Balearic Slingers, and once he wins that cav fight, he can come through and just clean those guys up. So basically we control the center. The fight on the extreme right's going well, so really it's on me to hold the formation. My chariots tried to run over here, do some interference attacks on his missile troops, do what they could. They ended up, tangling with this noble horse, which kind of gave him a beating. But still, this unit very much did its job. 250 kills almost, so many that they gained 3 levels of veterancy. Definitely worth it, even though they lost them. The elephants also have finally taken casualties, but you see they've got almost 400 kills. So, and with all the mucking that they threw into this Iceni army, that was definitely worth it. See, I got the pikes are in here, and I'm beginning to close in on these Oathsworn. He does have some cavalry. This one unit of noble horse is still loose, so that's something that's going to become a problem for my skirmishers. So I try to intercept with these pikes that were over here supporting Rome for a while, but he goes around those, and he's going to end up getting a hold of some of my slingers before too long here. So what I want to do is I want to try to get these elephants around the edge, slam them into these Oathsworn. Because my thorax swordsmen are losing decisively. They really don't have a chance against much higher quality Oathsworn. See, these guys only lost 12 men. My thorax swords are down almost half. And there's 4 units of these Oathsworn in here. So they're contained by my pikes. The thorax swords are holding for the moment. And now the elephants are charging in. They've used their trample ability. And then those fire arrows panic them, which actually I don't mind. They are going to do a fair amount of damage to my own swordsmen, but they also did quite a beating to these Oathsworn. So I'll take that trade-off. They're losing more expensive troops than I am. So I'm actually totally okay with that. And it ended up winning this fight for me, basically. A fight that I was maybe eventually going to win thanks to the pikes. But the elephants, threw it immediately into my favor. So now these Celtic youth must have been out of ammunition or something, rushing in. These guys are still unfortunately running amok on me, which is kind of a problem. My Thuriel spears were able to run over into this fight and help take on these last units of Noble Horse, which lets me pull out my badly battered median cav to help run down these archers, because not archers, but slingers, because nobody else in my army is really capable of catching them. So these guys routed before I even made contact, thanks to army losses, and that's basically going to do it. Look at all these Oathsworn running for it. Just couldn't take the elephant charge, not to mention the total surrounding, because they got all blobbed up. Alright, so, yeah. Well, of the three guys on our side, Drago had the most kills, but that is in no small part due to the fact that he was fighting by far the largest army of our opponents, and he had these, lighter Principe troops and auxiliary infantry that just got cut to pieces. I did the second most, but I also suffered the most casualties because I was involved in that big slugfest. My swords got messed up. Also, my own elephants did a number on my guys. Cav didn't accomplish much, but they did hold that fight in place, and spears were able to come over and help finish it. The story of the battle, though, is the Chariots with 262 kills, and the Elephants with 678. And they were able to throw the Icena army into disarray, and the Elephants were able to come in at a critical moment and cause a mass rout of Oathsworn. Yeah, see, some of these Oathsworn, like this unit in particular, was just mauling me. And the Elephants were able to turn that around. So I think having a single unit Elephants is good. Spamming them and taking 2 or 4, if the factions that can take multiple kinds of Elephants can actually take 4. Seems to me not to be worth it. But having one around is pretty darn effective against certain armies. Also very good against Rome. Most of the barbarian factions, because they don't have great spears, or they don't have a lot of spears. But yeah, in any case. So thanks for watching this quick and bloody battle of Rome 2 Total War. And Southern Wolverine is signing off.